can't stop the sun from shining. Whenever you're
Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me for the 2022 Pisces Horoscope. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, well, there are some very positive signs coming up this year. We've all been in, quite a sort of difficult state over the last couple of years, and it has been very stressful. And there are positive signs of hope and optimism coming through. We have a beautiful thing going on with Neptune sextiling Venus for a lot of signs. And yeah, there's just some amazing things happening. So, it's important to try and concentrate on hope and positivity, because you get more of what you focus on. Now, having said that, I do want to let you know that there are a couple of things that will still bring difficulty, one of which is Saturn squaring Uranus. We've been living with that through 2021, and it does come again for a couple of months, 2022, and then around October it's almost a square, but not quite. So that can be hard and frustrating. The other thing of note is that there's a thing called Pluto return happening in the US, and this is around 248 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Whatever energies were around then, we're likely to see some sort of rebirth, some sort of variation on a theme. Now, to let you know what that theme could encompass, there's basically things like addiction, compulsion, it's very volatile and turbulent, death, life, and rebirth. Okay, so with the rebirth, we have to go through some phases to get to the rebirth, and one of those is the death phase, which I think we've already been going through in 2021. And this will continue and probably come to a bit of a peak around February, 21st of February 2022, when it hits, basically. And we're going to have this Pluto return until 2024, so it goes on for a few years. But the good thing is that in 2022 we're going to start to see signs of change, of people starting to wake up, because there's a lot of people that just don't seem to get it, that we're in the Plutonian death zone, if you want to call it that, at the moment. So that is difficult. We can expect to see more social unrest. We can expect to see more polarization of society. Some of that is along political lines, and some other things might be to do with poverty, more poverty, and people at the top of the tree are becoming wealthier and wealthier, and the vast majority of people are becoming poorer in some sense. So that's sad to see that. However, it is something that's changing, so I just want to point that out. There's other things happening. The usual, Mercury retrograde's happening 4 times. We're having solar and lunar eclipses 4 times. That's usual. It's not unusual. The other thing that's happening is that Jupiter is moving back and forward between your first and second house. So it's in your sign, then it goes into your second house of money, which will be fabulous for you, for money, bringing extra money, and there's some sort of healing around your finances. Okay, and I'll just briefly explain what I do. I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month, for the year for you, and I'll have a look at your horoscope in depth, and I'll finish up with a psychic channeling at the end, so stick around for that. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Okay, let's go to the board and have a look at these cards now. Okay, so the 2 theme cards, if you want to, you can think of the first card as the first 6 months of the month, of the year, and the second card as the second 6 months of the year, if that's helpful for you. All right, so we've got the first card here. Closing my eyes, what do I see for passionate Pisces for 2022? There's somebody showing me a watch on their arm, and they're going like this, pointing to the watch. they're going like that, pointing to the watch. And that means basically be cautious with your time management, because you might find that time slips away and you're running late. It feels like it's a busy year and an active year for you, even though you have a lot of your planets here on the eastern horizon, making you more independent and less reliant on other people. This is about being self-motivated and very resourceful regarding your own talents and abilities. You're not relying on others as much, but yeah, you need to watch your time management. The card that comes out is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is basically saying money's on the way, but it's not here yet. You've planted some seeds and they are growing, but maybe they're growing slower than you would like. But yeah, Jupiter doesn't change houses and signs until later in the year. So this is the waiting period around money. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. There's lots of green leaves that are sprouting here. It reminds me, I've got a native ginger plant, which is sort of like an orchid. It has a beautiful flower. And they grow wild in the bush. I don't even know where I got it, but it's just a stalk with a couple of leaves. I've been watering this for months and nothing ever happens. It's just like a twig like that with a few leaves at the top. It looks ridiculous. And this morning I saw it had actually thrown out another sort of tendril, and there was another one in the pot. So it was two new shoots. So this is what this reminds me of. See how they're just sort of sticks with a few leaves at the top? That's what this picture reminds me of. And so too, it might look gangly. Your situation might look uncomfortable or might look unbalanced or something like that. But know that when these other tendrils sprout, it's going to be a whole big picture here. And you're going to have these taller things at the back, like a tall backstory. And then in the foreground, you're going to have all these other little young shoots. And so it's going to work out to be quite beautiful in the end, but it won't happen in 5 minutes. Okay, so stick around. I'll give you more on the timing of Jupiter in a moment. Second card of the year. I just pulled out all of those, so there's too many. I'm not going to read them because there's too many. We just want one card. I'll go with that one. Closing my eyes now, and what do I see for passionate Pisces for 2022? A director's chair. A movie is being made, okay? You are the star of your own movie, and there's a director's chair. There's nobody in the chair. It's empty. So I'm asking you in 2022 to be the director of your own life and to take more control and to direct and see where you want your life to go. The direction of your life is up to you. It's not like there's just fate and karma and you've got no say. You've got the say to direct the direction of your life, so do it. The card that comes up is the Four of Cups. This is sort of like mixed. There's sort of a feeling of despondency or maybe feeling a bit forlorn over past issues, perhaps to do with love. And perhaps in some way your parents weren't there enough or couldn't be there for whatever reason when you were a child. So it's like your heart is reaching out, aching almost for love. You see the white roses here. It's a spiritual love. Okay, yeah, sometimes physicality comes into that to express that, but there's a spiritual bond, and not just with one person, probably with, you know, several people. And you see over here, these cups are empty. And so it's like, yes, you can feel this sort of existential loneliness or this bond, or you want to go home to the universe, but you're stuck here for the moment. However, there is growth around this. She's wearing green. She's also got a black like corset, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I just can't think of the word. Which means that things are hidden. And then there's gold, and gold is the colour of the solar plexus, the sun, the spark of life. And so I want you this year to get in touch with your own internal sun, your own central sun. to bring life, energy, more confidence, more optimism, and a higher self-esteem into your life, because you're going to parent yourself and you're going to feel the vastness of the ache that you can feel. You're going to fill it with you because you are big enough to do that. All right, okay, so bear that in mind. That's a big job, by the way. It probably will take all year. All right, let's have a look at your horoscope. Now I'm just going to make this a bit bigger so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so all the planets in the Eastern Hemisphere making you more independent, more reliant upon yourself. Saturn squares Uranus, so we'll talk about that in a moment. 4 eclipses in your 9th and 3rd houses of study, learning, communications, expanding your life, that sort of thing. Mercury retrograde 4 times, doesn't overly affect you. This does though, and that is Jupiter changing signs. It's in your sign now, in your sign. So, in the 1st house, your sign. And this basically means that all about you is growing and expanding and developing. That's where you're at the moment. You could be changing your belief systems in some real way, which is going to manifest in your life physically. Then soon Jupiter hops over here into your 2nd house and conjuncts Chiron at some stage, and that will bring the healing you need to your financial sector. Okay, so let's have a look in depth. Up to the 6th of January, Saturn sextiles your MC. This helps you make significant progress in your career or your life generally. You could receive a promotion or change jobs. It's a really beneficial influence and will help you no end. It's a great way to start the year off. And then up to the 31st of January, and again 5th of August to the 7th of December, Pluto conjuncts Pluto. This is pretty important given that, as I mentioned before, the US is going through its Pluto return starting 2022. And so this brings up a lot of power, a lot of hidden energy that has been deep down in your subconscious. You may remember things that you haven't remembered for a long time, maybe things around your childhood too. You could be feeling quite instinctive and instinctively doing things but not sure why you're doing them. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't make logical sense, okay? If you feel driven to do something, then it's probably best that you do it. Just be cautious with money, okay? Because you do have Chiron here in your 2nd house of funds, which is more or less like a spiritual wound. So be careful with money there. Up to the 8th of February, Neptune conjuncts Neptune. This is fabulous for you spiritually, getting you in touch with your spirituality at a much deeper level. You could enjoy fairy tales, religious and metaphysical topics. If you're not particularly interested in psychic things, you might not feel it, but being a Pisces, you probably are. Up to the 10th of January, Saturn conjuncts Saturn. It's like you're doing a life review, and especially at this time of the year, that's quite a common thing to go back and look over all the decisions that you've made and the commitments, what you've chosen to do. So you could be reevaluating your career choices, where you live, your other relationships, okay? It's a time of self-analysis and questioning yourself. Jupiter conjuncts Jupiter up to the 6th of January, beginning a new cycle for you. You formulate new plans and ideas that will extend over the next 12 years, so this is pretty important. Your ambitions and ideals slowly and gradually move towards a new direction. It's a period of rebirth and renewed optimism. Fabulous. 7th to the 24th of January, Saturn sextiles Mars, bringing cooperation and harmony with co-workers. If you're in any clubs, teams or groups, whatever you're doing together is likely to be successful, and there's a lot of teamwork, and it's sort of very harmonious. Then we have the 22nd of January to the 4th of February, Venus trines Uranus. This is fabulous for bringing in new friends, bringing in a more playful, chilled kind of attitude in your relationships. It's a delightful and stimulating period that brings unexpected pleasure. It's also a good time to have a break from your usual routine, and it's time to be spontaneous and seek a refreshing change of pace. A new relationship or rejuvenation of a current relationship is quite likely. 14th of February to the 23rd of February, Jupiter squares your MC. You could try to improve your work or career. You may seek new employment, promotion, or seek a increase in your salary. You feel ready and fit for a better situation. So this thing about jobs, it keeps coming up. And so getting a better job or getting more money this year is quite on the cards. 23rd of February to the 3rd of March, Jupiter squares Mars. You're likely to be quite bold and daring. If you are restricted in some way, you're going to really feel like enlarging your horizons. It's time to break free of all of these limitations and restrictions. So a new job is on the cards, something with more opportunity. If you already have a business, you could increase your advertising and your marketing. 6th of February to the 2nd of April, and again nearly on the 4th of October, but not quite, Saturn squares Uranus. It's a difficult time period. Things just go the way they want to go, not what you want. Regardless of your plans and intentions, Uranus and Saturn are having a bit of a disagreement here because they've got different things on their agenda. So Saturn is all about structure, authority, caution, conservatism, and going slowly. It doesn't like change. Uranus is all about volatility, chaos, freedom, liberation. It wants to do things very, very quickly. So these two don't agree. But if you can change things but put structure into that change, Saturn will be more helpful because Saturn wants to see structure. Okay, it doesn't want to see chaos. So you have to find the balance between the two. 15th of February to the 10th of April, and again 20th of September to the 10th of February 2023, Neptune sextiles Venus. This is going to save us all. And this is particularly important for you too, Pisces, because your compassion and sympathy and concern for other people is amplified. Your heart reaches out to others and you can help them and offer assistance, and they will do the same for you. People will want to help you this year. If there is someone that you're having difficulty with, it's like there's some sort of breaking of the ice, or the barrier between you comes tumbling down, because Neptune is your ruler, and so this is going to be very strong. And the saviour of humanity, I think, in some ways. 24th of March to the 2nd of April, Jupiter conjuncts Neptune. Your mind wanders to faraway places. You might be filled with ideas of the exotic, the mystical and the fantastic. That's okay. Daydream away. Maybe you can get some of that, a fraction of that, into your life and make it real and make it physical. Okay, so this will stimulate and inspire you. It might be hard to concentrate on mundane matters, but it is a good time for vacation and travel, depending on what's happening with COVID. I have just had the realisation here in Australia, we're hearing about no more lockdowns, no more lockdowns. I don't think it's true. Okay, so yeah, travel safely if you're going to travel. Okay, so 3rd of April to the 12th of April, Jupiter sextiles Venus. This is fabulous for your personal relationships and friendships. You're likely to be able to share feelings, your interests and concerns openly and honestly with other people. It's also good for your finances because Venus looks after money. And it's great to beautify your home or the area where you work as well. 16th of April to the 25th of April, Jupiter sextiles Pluto, and this is good because it brings cooperation with business, government agencies and organisations. Other people, especially influential people, are likely to help you now. You'll gain their cooperation and support. Other organisations or bureaucracies, the government, etc., Centrelink, etc., may have ignored you in the past, but now they're more helpful. So that's really good news. 30th of April or the 1st of May, if you're in Australia and New Zealand, there's a solar eclipse in your third house here, suggesting new beginnings and broadening your horizons generally. Even if it's just in your local area, it's like it's a busy, active time where you're darting about doing, errands and meeting people. It's also a time when you might have some contact with distant family members or perhaps siblings. And if you're in business, it's a time where there's some new beginning with promotion or marketing. Okay. Then we have 10th of May to the 27th of October and 20th of December to the 16th of May 2023. Jupiter is in your sign, helping you to have a deeper understanding of yourself. It's all about you. You grow your confidence. But it actually moves into your second house on those dates. Sorry, I just mentioned. The second house is 10th of May to the 27th of October and 20th of December to the 16th of May 2023. Okay, this gives you the ability to grow your finances. This is good news, especially when it comes close to Chiron. There's a healing that goes on, and you'll be able to clearly see how you can grow your money supply. Jupiter also brings good luck. So you might find that money comes to you out of the blue, and it's a surprise perhaps even. Maybe somebody is like a coach or a mentor that helps you with money. 15th of May sees a lunar eclipse here in your 9th house of life, mission, vocation and reputation. This is also called the house of the higher mind. Because there's a lot of transformation and subconscious energy that comes up, and it comes up into your mind, and then you're looking at how you can grow your knowledge base. So you might look at formal study, or you might look at studying spirituality or metaphysics or something like that. You might also have to let go of something so you can grow as a person to make space for the new opportunities coming into your life. Then we have 16th of May to the 10th of August, Neptune sextiling Pluto, bringing tremendous inner growth and things coming up from your subconscious that you'll deal with, and they will be gently healed and released. It's a very important and beneficial time because you're going to eliminate deeply ingrained negative attitudes. So yeah, that would be really good. 25th of October, solar eclipse in Scorpio. Here in your 9th house as well. You're developing and growing your horizons. Are you thinking about traveling, perhaps learning so you can teach other people from your experiences? New opportunities present, and these allow you to grow your life to be bigger and better than ever. Exotic culture and foreign cultures appeal to you now more than ever. 8th of November, lunar eclipse in Taurus in your 3rd house here. And as I said before, you're likely to be quite busy running errands in your local community. But these will lead to some sort of transformation. Deep energies from your subconscious arise for enlightenment, and your awareness and insight will bring a spark of light to the situation. And just as I was thinking about that, I had a flash that you might actually meet someone who's very significant in your life as a result of this influence. All right, so that's your horoscope. Now I'm just going to close my eyes and see what I can see for you, passionate Pisces. Okay, for 2022. Okay, there's a drink here with a straw, and they're saying sip on a drink and slow down. Okay, you could be tearing around trying to do all manner of things. Okay, it's just busy, busy, busy. Then they're showing me a gold heart, and it's got a lot of gold crystals around the outside of the heart, like a key line in gold. And so gold is really good because spiritually it means that it's something very precious, something very valuable, and it's a high vibration. Oh, I don't know what this one means. Prawns. All I can think of is put another prawn on the barbie. It's probably got significance for Australians for Christmas coming up in 2021, but I don't know what that means for 2022. Maybe outdoor, there's going to be a lot of outdoor type entertainment, and maybe the government will be pushing outdoor entertainment rather than indoor functions and indoor activities. I suspect that's because of COVID. Okay, so if we get outdoors, then it's more likely that we won't pick up the virus, perhaps. I really don't know. Now I see a wagon wheel, and it's moving slowly, and this reminds me in the US, how the West was won, and the great wagon wheel trains they had, going from the east to the west across the country, and it took a very long time to do that. So in some sense, you're a pioneer who is exploring a new land, and it's sort of exciting because this whole new thing is going to be available to you. All of these resources are going to be available to you in 2022. Okay, so it's really important to listen to your intuition and not get too caught up in what goes on in your head, but just to go with the flow of the river. And as Pisces, you'll be able to do that better than most. Okay, so that's it, Passionate Pisces. I hope it's useful for you. If you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that button and the notification bell. Subscribe and be alive. Okay, have a wonderful year, everyone. It's going to be a very insightful and intuitive year for you. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.